dormitory at the Bahamas Agriculture and Marine Science Institute was gutted by fire. Acting Prime Minister Philip Davis says a contractor hasn't yet been selected.
Yes. Since the facility that was 80% complete went up in flames in early January, Davis says government has changed its original vision in part due to increasing demands at the school. Free National Movement Deputy Leader Peter Turnquest recently criticized government for not identifying a new contractor.
It's not difficult to find a contractor to build. The question is what we're going to build, because the demand for the school has so magnified over the last year. We may not want to build what we originally planned. And so those are some of the factors we're now taking into account. Whether we build what is there now or build what we really originally intended, or build to meet the demands that we are now seeing to go to school.
Davis says he intends to meet with engineers between Wednesday and Friday and expects a full report on Friday identifying what will be done going forward. 50-year-old Dave Moxey was charged with setting Bamsey on fire, and it came out that contractor Audley Hanna, president of Paradigm Construction, had no all-risk insurance on the building, despite it being required in the contract with government. Davis also answered inquiries if government intended to be stricter with a new contractor.
We are always strict on contractors, but as in all things, right, some things will fall through the crack. We are not strict on contractors. We have a contract with the contractors. We expect them to live by the terms of their contract, and at times we are all humans, and their things could fall through the crack. We have refined some of the things we'll do going forward, but it doesn't make any less strict than it was. It's just that we have put more bodies in place to ensure that things are less likely to be overlooked going forward.
A judge has denied bail to 5 men fighting extradition to the United States on drug trafficking charges. Our Fern Carey was in court today.
Sheldon Moore, Gordon Newbold, Trevor Roberts, Shanto Curry and Deroy Morse were hoping to be released on bail pending their appeal to the Privy Council, but that did not happen. The men appeared before Senior Justice Stephen Isaacs. He dismissed their bail application, noting that a lower court cannot affect the decision of the higher court, and any relief sought from the decision of a higher court must be sought from that court. As a result, he said the applicants must now apply for bail to either the Court of Appeal or the Privy Council. This after the Court of Appeal affirmed a committal order of the lower court and ruled that the lower courts correctly concluded that there was ample evidence to warrant the applicant's extradition. Back on November 28th, the appellate court dismissed an appeal from the decision of then Senior Justice John Isaacs to refuse an application for habeas corpus made by Moore, Newbold, Roberts, Curry, and Morse. The men had been out on bail for 9 years during the extradition proceedings. However, it was revoked on November 18th, and they were remanded in custody at the Bahamas Department of Corrections to await extradition. The applicants filed separate notices of motion seeking leave of the Court of Appeal to apply to the Privy Council. Federal prosecutors had requested the extradition of the 5 men, including alleged drug lord Melvin Maycock Sr., Wilfred Ferguson, Carl Comer, brothers Lyndon and Brian Deal, and Tory Lockhart since 2004. All of the defendants are behind bars at the Bahamas Department of Corrections awaiting extradition. Frank Carey, ZNS Network News.
Also from the courts, 33-year-old Wendell Smith didn't get the results he was hoping for when he appeared in Supreme Court today. During today's proceedings, attorney Ramona Farquharson Seymour cross-examined the prosecution's star witness, who is given evidence anonymously as AB. The witness testified that he saw who shot and killed McCartney back in 2013. McCartney is the brother of DNA leader Branville McCartney. Thorne Edwards, O'Kel Farrington, Lindira Curry, and Sumner Ingram are accused of killing Kurt McCartney. Terry Delancey is also accused of accessory after the fact. Roger Thompson and Cephia Pinder Moss is prosecuting the case. Terrell Butler, Ian Cargill, Ramona Farquharson Seymour, Sonia Timothy, and Philip Hilton make up the defense.
The Nassau grouper season is closed effective yesterday through the 28th of February. Now, the Department of Marine Resources points out that the taking, landing, possession, sale, and offering for sale of any fresh Nassau grouper is prohibited during this period. Now, any grouper that is caught must be landed with the head and tail as well as the skin intact. If you violate this law, you could face a fine of up to $5,000 or a year in prison or both. If you have Nassau grouper prior to the close of the season, you're required to make a written declaration of the quantities of the resource in your possession to the Department of Marine Resources, or in the case of the Family Islands, to the local fisheries representative, the police, or the local Family Island administrator.